How's it going, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to another episode today in the career mode. I hope you're all having a fantastic day. To kickstart the episode off, showing you the league table, 12 games in, currently still unbeaten. It seems to be the case here. We've got Stoke first, then we play away in the Champions League to Marseille. Going to be a very good game, that one. Following that, with a quarter-final in the Carabao Cup. So, 3 different games all coming today. 1 in the Premier League, 1 in the Champions League, 1 in the semi-finals of the Carabao Cup. So all should be quite fun to look forward to. And obviously, all should be quite tough as well. So Stoke up first. Now, you know, looking at the way that things have panned out, should be a relatively, let's say, simple task in order to get the result here. But as you guys know, you never know what you're going to come up against when you take on the AI on Ultimate Difficulty. It's either you'll walk the game and you'll dominate it, or it's the complete opposite and you'll struggle. So hopefully it will be the first and not the latter. Of course, the home advantage for them may help them go further, but their side isn't really as good as I was expecting it to be. They've still got a very similar side to that they start off with. Largely, it's more about just us trying to control the play and get into the swing of things here. And it's tough for Stoke because we are the top scoring team in the Premier League. So there is that kind of thing they have to think about. But the problem was, right, I don't know what it was. We just could not find the correct passes, could not get going in the game. We had a great chance with Phil Foden to take the lead inside the first half. He gets in the box, and this is where he maybe just lacks that cutting edge. I am beginning to train him, so don't worry about it. He will get better in that regard. But for right now, he's great to have, don't get me wrong. And I understand completely why you guys want to see him play a lot more. But when he's in those sort of positions, you're just praying that the ball's going to go in. And unfortunately, he scarred his effort. And then we got fairly lucky because Stoke had a massive, massive chance. I think it was Jeff Cameron getting through and shooting. But we were able to clear it off the line. And it remained 0-0. Brahimi breaking through the back line to see his shot blocked out for a corner ball. Things just weren't going our way. And Pascal Gross came on for Phil Foden, making that change, trying to make something happen. He had the best chance of the second half. He headed his effort straight down into the turf, which in turn allowed Stoke's goalkeeper to catch it. So we had 2 decent opportunities. Obviously, the one with Pascal Gross, the one with Phil Foden in the first half coming. That was probably our best chance. Stoke having one of their own as well, but ultimately it was a very, very poor game. I just could not find the correct passes. Like I said, I was struggling to get ourselves into it, and when we were breaking through the back line, it was that final ball. But even so, my 2 centre defensive mids, Artur and Rabiot, 2 of the players that you'd expect to be bossing it in this team, they were very poor throughout. Their passes were going astray at times. And so we had a game against Marseille, like I said, coming up after this. But the thing is, we're through the group, so I didn't need to name a strong side. We still named a pretty strong one. You can see there's a lot of changes there. I think there was 9 in total from the team that faced Stoke moments ago. So it is pretty much a changed around side. I think we've got Remiro coming in goal. Obviously, Lewis Dunk back as well after he missed a couple of games through fitness and such. He didn't start against Stoke, but he's back today for the trip to Marseille. And as we got into game, I saw this, right? And I was like, this looks incredible. Look how good just the ground and the shots look. It was an incredible place to play here. And even though, obviously, we're not playing for I guess, the ability to go through, because we've already got that, we're still playing for the top spot. Now, I'm not really bothered in regards of whether or not we get top or second, because no matter who you get, you know, to go all the way, it's still tough, you know. So even if you finish second, even if you finish first, you're still coming up against a really good team in the next round no matter what. So finishing first, yes, it would be great, and it's a bonus, but ultimately, I was just taking this with a pinch of salt and just enjoying this game here against Marseille. We should have gone 1-0 up. I don't quite know how that first effort stayed out of the box and in the goal, sorry. But then Vinicius Jr. on the left-hand side crafted a really nice attempt as he put the cross in towards the middle. And there was Ali Reza to head us 1-0 in front inside the 21st minute. So much different to the way we were playing against Stoke. We were able to find our passes. We were able to create chances. We'd already had one before this, like I said. Could have so easily been 1-0 in front, but eventually we were through Ali Reza's header. And just look at this, right? He comes so far in, because when you consider he's actually playing right midfield today, he's actually in the centre of the box for that cross. And I kind of like that about the fact that he was willing to get himself in there and get into the mix. So there's absolutely nothing Steve Mandanda can do in the Marseille goal. He just has to watch that one go into the corner. And with the 35th minute play, we should have gone 2-0 in front. A really good save from the Frenchman, pushing that one onto the top of the crossbar. But then I think Ollie Watkins maybe went about it a bit stupidly. I feel like he should have done a bit better with that chance there. As a Campos now for Marseille gets the shot away himself, and it required Ramiro's attention to push that one behind there. So Marseille giving as good as they were getting, but it was us who had found the second breakthrough of the game. This is quality from Vinicius Jr. He played a stormer all the way through, cuts inside his man there with a Berber spin, keeps going, gets into a shooting chance, and that is just class from the Brazilian on the left-hand side. You guys all voted to see him come into the team. I know there's a few of you guys who were upset at the fact that he did join us because you felt that he probably won't leave Real Madrid in order to join Brighton, which I agree with. But then again, if we go on to win the Champions League, it was the right decision, wasn't it? Because I tell you what, there's nothing right now that's suggesting that we can't do it. My only worry is that when we do get further down the competition, we're going to have so many games that we risk injuries to some of our bigger players. I think our starting 11 right now can easily match any of that in the world of football. My only worry is the squad depth isn't quite as strong. So even though we're winning this game 2-0 and we were quite comfortable, I don't quite know how on earth we gave them an opportunity to get back in this game. I mean, that's never a free kick in my opinion. It's just 50-50. Gustavo should be stronger. The referee gives them the free kick, which Torven then puts in towards the mixer. And my problem here is Lewis Dunk. For a guy who's experienced enough, for a guy who now has been our club captain for the last, certainly in my reign, year and a half, pretty much here we've been at Brighton now. He was club captain when we came in. He's got to do better. Like this, I agree, fair play to Marseille. You know what? Well done. They put it into the mixer. They win the header. They're back in the game at 2-1. But look at Lewis Dunk. He gets up before their man gets up and then somehow completely gets his position wrong and he loses the 50-50 header. They score. Ultimately, it didn't matter because we went on to win the game by 2-1. So that's obviously good for us. But I was just coming away from that thinking to myself, how have we given away the clean sheet there? Lewis Dunk, he's had a couple of these now where I'm thinking to myself, is he good enough to lead this Brighton side? When he plays well, don't get me wrong, he plays unbelievably and you can't fault him. But he does make these little mistakes that certainly, world-class centre-backs wouldn't do. So as much as I want to keep him our club captain, I feel that time maybe is short for Lewis Dunk. Potentially next season, depending on how we perform in the Champions League and, of course, in the Premier League as well, it might be a case of either we're replacing him or if we go, he might be not on my shortlist to bring over to the new team. But regardless, with that 2-1 win, that does keep our place. And it does so happen as well that Barcelona did beat AEK Athens. So it will go to the final game to see who wins the group. So in that regard, we're playing against Barca anyway. A draw there is enough to secure his top spot. A loss, depending on how bad it is, will then be enough as well. Obviously, if they beat us by a higher scoreline, I'm not sure how it comes down to, whether or not it's head-to-head record after that, or if it's then goal difference, because obviously we beat them 2-1 at their ground. They travelled to the Amex on the final day to play against us. I'm excited for that. We'll see how we play during the game. We faced Wolves, though, in the Premier League. Decided to sim this one. They were down the bottom side of the table. We went 2-0 up through Rabiot and Odriozola, and ended up going on to win the game by 2-0 as well. So a good result there, making it 4 points from a possible 6 in today's Premier League campaign. My only issue is it's dropped points against Stoke. We should have done so much better against them. But then again, at least we didn't lose. We're still unbeaten at the top of the table. Now, this game was really interesting. I didn't even realise we were in a Carabao Cup quarter-final. I'm not going to lie to you guys. I was sat there and I was like, quarter-final already? Well, it is. And we're facing off against Reading at the Amex in trying to book our place in the semis. I did change around the side. There was, I think, 11 changes to the team who played against... Oh, no, sorry, there wasn't 11. There was 10 to the team that played in the Champions League, 11 to the team that played in the midweek against Wolves in the Premier League. So there is a lot of changes to this team, but on paper, we still had a massive advantage in terms of the two teams and how they would play out. So again, this comes down to just us, I guess, playing it the way we know we can and actually getting the victory. We took the lead early on, 7 minutes in, Ollie Watkins through the middle. And there was actually a place in the side today for Erwin Steiner, the man who's come through our youth academy. He's going out on loan in January, I believe, but he's still at the club for now, as is Takefusa Kubo. And both of them started in this game, and it was Steiner's assist who helped us take the lead here. Playing the ball through, and there was Ollie Watkins in order to put it just past the Reading goalkeeper. Literally just passed it past him, and we took the lead. Past Vito Manone, actually, is the man in goal for Reading. Not great goalkeeping when you consider, but again, it was a simple task for Ollie Watkins. When he's in that position, you expect him to score, and score he did. So we took the lead in the quarterfinals, trying to book our place, like I said, in that semis. And we went down the left with Ollie Watkins not too long later, and I don't know what Manone was doing, because he nearly put it in his own net there. A few inches to the other side, and it would have been 2-0 through a Manone own goal. It was all of us over the Reading side. We were just pretty much battering their goal. This is another good opportunity. Monone, though, this time is equal to Ollie Watkins' strike. They didn't really throw a lot at us, and that's to be expected. You know, we're the top team in England. The squad depth that we've got in terms of this type of competition is fine. It's only the Champions League because it's coming up against the best that the rest of the Europe has to offer. So that's where my worry lies. But, you know, against Reading, who are a Championship side, this second team is fine. You know what I'm saying? So a good result, maybe not as convincing as you would expect, but a 1-0 win. We got the clean sheet. We got the goal that mattered. Everything was lined up perfectly. So that books our space in the semi-final. We're going to see who we'll face for that one to come. And like I said, it was a nice bonus because I honestly didn't think we were in the Carabao Cup quarter-final. So happy days, really. And here was the draw then after it had been made. I did believe that Arsenal Spurs were still in there, but Arsenal actually lost to Norwich by 1-0, and West Ham beat Oxford to book their places in the semis. Norwich would face Spurs, and we're going to face West Ham United in that one. Of course, it is a double-legger for the semi-final, and so we will be looking forward to both of those games to come to try and get ourselves through to the finals of the competition. It's our first final as a club, which would be really good, wouldn't it? To be able to play in a Carabao Cup final would be definitely a bonus and obviously nice. But I think obviously I'm trying to be competitive in the Champions League, try and do as much as we can in the Premier League as well, and then of course the FA Cup starts soon as well properly. So we've got that to look forward to. There's so much to come here. Showing you a squad report because I'm going to try and do one of these pretty much every 3 or 4 months if I remember to do them. If you guys want to keep seeing these, let me know in a comment because I do forget. It is one of those things that I'm just such an idiot when it comes to it. I always forget to do it, so I apologise in advance if I ever do. But I'm going to try and keep you guys updated with how player growth is going in terms of like every 3 months in calendar games. So you guys can see who's growing, who's going down, who's staying the same, all of that stuff. Incidentally, there's a lot of loan players out who aren't actually growing. Jordan Turner. There's also Harry Dunfresne is another one. But who's the guy, the right winger? The American. I can't remember his name. What's he called? He's going to come up now. Noah Gordson. There he is. Noah Gordson. He still hasn't grown after he's been on loan at Grêmio in the Brazilian league. So, a bit surprised with that one. Nevertheless, guys, we are coming towards the end of today's episode. If you did enjoy it, a like would be greatly appreciated. We have another episode of the My Player Career Mode following this later on tonight at 6 p.m. So make sure, if you're not already subscribed, you do hit the button below. Alongside it should be the notification bell. If you click that, you will get notified whenever a video goes live. So if you don't want to miss any, make sure you've got that turned on. Until 6 p.m. though, guys, that's it from me for now. See you all again in the next couple of hours. Also, I am hoping to have another one of these episodes out tomorrow when you're watching this, so make sure you stay tuned for more. Till next time, adios.